Thank you, Presiding Officer, and thank you to David Stewart for giving us this opportunity to debate an important subject. In his opening remarks, David Stewart said we've got some 500,000 acres in community ownership. I think it may be as well to give a sense of perspective. 20% of the Westminster constituencies in Scotland exceed that size. So it might be a great advance on where we were, but there's a heck of a lot still to do. And I very much welcome the formation of the new group that will be looking at what has been done in the past and seeking to build on it. I was an active and enthusiastic supporter of the 2003 Act. Indeed, my greatest achievement was to add a single word, add, to the access parts of the provision, thus protecting from obliteration the existing access rights, and stating that the new Act only added to those that existed. It took me a heck of a long time to get it, but there we are. Jamie McGregor suggested there is no need for further legislation. I do think Rob Gibson has been quite uncharacteristically kind to the Tories in his contribution. Bill Aitken, during the passage of the 2003 bill, consistently described this as leading to a Mugabe land grab, and I don't think any of us in the chamber, or even Jamie himself, would suggest that that has happened. On the contrary, progress has perhaps been more glacial than we might have hoped that it would be. Isle of Gigha is God's island, and with good reason. I first visited there at 1:05 on the 20th of May 1993. You might think, why is there such specific accuracy about that? That's because I flew in. So by looking at my logbook, I can see exactly when I landed at Gigha. I found an island in the feudal grip of a landowner who subsequently had to flee to Switzerland and was pursued by the authorities for money. Not a happy experience. But he had built the landing strip. It had been open some 6 weeks when I landed there. I think it caused the islanders of Gigha no great grief when the then landowner brought his own plane in, which was registered Golf India Golf Hotel Alpha, because you have 5 letters as your registration, Gigha, and he crashed it and wrote it off in his own landing strip. So that was no great tragedy whatsoever. No one was injured. But there are, I have to say, enormous things about what's happened on Gigha. I read on their website that there are now 31 children on Gigha. And would that communities of this size around Scotland had that proportion of youngsters, because that's the feedstock for the future of the community and, of course, guarantees the future of the school. And, as it says on the website, we have virtually full employment on Gigha. Let's move the whole of Scotland to Gigha. Maybe that will be the answer. Gigha has been blessed by nature. I, at a later stage, flew into Gigha in February, found the tar melting on the roads and people sunbathing in their swimming costumes on the beach. The community, and in particular the McSporrans, have been absolutely key to changing the dynamic of Gigha. At the end of the day, it is always about people, and the people of Gigha have risen to the challenge. What we as politicians is to deconstruct the barriers and help them do what they can do best, manage their own communities. Presiding Officer.